In this tutorial, I'm going to talk you through how to use a website called makercase to make a very, very quick case. Okay, so for a PCB, for example. So I'm going to go to the get my Firefox up, or I think this one's got Google Chrome. There we go, and open. And the website we're looking for is called makercase. Just give me a second. For some reason, mine's been a little bit slow today. Okay, so I'm just going to go up to the top and type in makercase. Okay, search for that, and that's the one I want there. Okay, so the actual website is en.makercase.com. Okay, click on this website. Now this website is going to generate a plan for us. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to import that plan as a file type called a DXF, and then we're going to put that into 2D design. Okay, now there are various sorts you can do. You can do all sorts of things here. They even have little marble runs if you want to ever have a bit of a play with those. You can do something called kerf, which means that actually you can bend. So even though it's a single piece of wood, you can actually bend it around the way, which is quite fun if you ever want to go out doing that. So making them boxes around corners. You can do polygon corners, or we're just going to go with a basic box. Okay, so I'm going to click on basic box. Now the default is inches. Okay, I think it's only the Americans that work on that, so we're going to go to millimeters. Now at this point, what you want to do is you want to look at the size of the PCB that you're making. Okay, so if your PCB is say 80 by 50, okay, so that's what the numbers I'm going to use. You want to go a little bit bigger on each side. Okay, so I'm going to give that sort of half a centimeter one side, half the other one. So I'm going to say 90, okay, by the depth would be 70. Okay, and then I'm going to think about the height. Okay, now if I want the battery standing up the way, I've got to measure the battery. If I want it lying down the way, so I'm going to have it lying down the way, which makes it about 25 mil, and I'll go a little bit higher just to be sure. So I'm going to say 35. Okay, but obviously measure your box, get an idea of what you want it to look like. Now you get various options. Obviously we're going to go with 3 mil because that's what we use. We're going to go for a closed style box because obviously that makes we've got a lid. We're going to go for finger joints. Okay, that's the kind of normal one we do, which we can glue in. I'll just scroll down here. Let's have a little look, and it gives you the finger size. It will kind of automatically do that for you. Okay, so I know it's an odd size, but actually it looks quite neat. It's kind of in the center there, to that side, one that way. That'll be great. Okay, so what do I do now? Now I need to go to where it says download plans. Click on there. Okay, now at this point, oh actually that's, sorry, hang on, that bit's quite quick. There's another bit that's quite slow. Now it does have on there back, right, front, left, top and bottom. Okay, so it does actually label them for you. I don't want those labels on because obviously when we put that into 2D design, it will actually write the word front, back, right, left, top and bottom, which I don't want. So I'm going to say disable. That'll turn that off. Thanks, sir. And can have a quick look at line formatting. That's okay. Yeah, this is all sorts of things. Kerf is if you imagine if you were a saw cutting through something, how much kind of the actual, how thick the saw is. We don't have to worry about the laser cutter. Okay, it will do it all nicely for us. What we'll do on here is probably go to combine. So at the moment there's big gaps between them. I'm just going to say combine, and that just squeezes them all together. Okay, which obviously saving material, saving time. Okay, double plus. So go download DXF. Now when you click this, it might take a few seconds to do. Okay, I know mine's come up there fairly quickly. On your one it might take a little while. Okay, now that's downloaded that file called box.dxf into my downloads files. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open 2D design. Okay, let's start one of those. Now once I've got this, it will come up with the kind of front screen of Born Grammar. I can just ignore the little splash screen. Okay, so I can just click on the background and ignore that bit there. I'm going to go File and Import. Okay. Now on here, I'm going to go to this PC, and you should see there's a folder with a blue arrow saying Downloads. Double click on there, And there you go, you can see box, it's just been made. All right, it comes up there, all looks good. Notice in black lines, obviously we'll at some point want to rend lines, okay? Say open. Now this is really important, this bit, make sure you click millimeters again, otherwise it'll be 2.5 times too big, and say okay. All right, so there it's in there. Now while it's all selected, I'm just going to go straight up to where it says call for color and click on red. That's the cutting color, all right, and say okay. All right. Now at this point, I need to have a little bit of a think and think, right, hang on, do I want to have any holes in there? Do I want to put any writing on there? If I want to put a hole in there, okay, I go over to here, hold that circle down and come across a couple to the one that's got the R. All right, that's the circle with a given center and radius. Now, depending on what you want to put a hole for, so it might be you're using a push to make switch. It might be an LED, okay? Now, an LED, if I was doing that for that, I would go for 6.8, okay? If it's a switch, sorry, is it 6.4? 6.4 or 6. Just trying to remember, sorry. If in doubt, we could always go a little bit bigger, so I can actually just go 7 mil, okay? All right, so say 7 mil, okay? And now you can see that it's in black, so I'm just going to click on there and make it red and say okay. So that will cut out. So if I want to put a hole in there, okay. Switch radius 6.4, and that's the radius, not the diameter.
But it'll toggle switch.
Yeah.
Push to make one.
Both.
The toggle one's 6 mil diameter, and the push to make one's 7 mil diameter.
It says it is across the way. I thought. Sorry, I've given you the wrong numbers there. So let's try again. Just double checking. So click on there. Okay. So I need half of that. Okay, because that's the diameter, not the radius. So it's going to be half of that. So I'm going to say 3.5. Okay, that looks better. Okay, so I may say where I want the LED to go in the front there, so I might want 3 LEDs to go in the front there, and then on the other side I'm going to have the on-off switch there. Okay, now I might want to put some writing on there, so if I want to do some writing, click on where it says ABC, select where you want to do it, put your thing on there, so you might want to say on, okay, something like that. If it's obviously come out too big, I can just select it, grab one of those corners, I'm holding the shift button down at the same time and just going to shrink it down the way like that. Okay, and then I can just put that underneath like that. Okay, and obviously if I want to put a name on there or anything else there. Okay, final step, obviously make sure you save that. If this is part of your coursework, make sure you do a screenshot to explain how you did it on the different steps, and obviously a screenshot of the kind of 3D version of it as well, so you'd screenshot that. And so that's your kind of SolidWorks, the sort of 3D designing part. Obviously talk about the settings you put in, and this is your cutting sheet, so again you'd screenshot that and do that. Now to cut this, obviously you need to save it, email it to the laser cutter, all one word, LASERCUTTER, okay, and then obviously go up there and follow the instructions. Okay, there you go.